Hello, everybody. It is Sarah. This weekend, I have a market at a dance studio. And so they're going to have like over 150 students, and they're doing picture day and performances along with like a bunch of different crafters and stuff. So I will be actually like one of 4 different crocheters at this market. So, and it's kind of like a weird placement. I did buy 2 spaces. So I will insert a picture here because, and I picked like number 3 and 4 is mine. And then the other crocheters are the ones I've circled in red. And so I did not have a lot of time to prepare how I was going to set up the layout of my market. I was extremely sick this last week. And so I'm finally feeling better. And today it is extremely windy and I do not have enough room in my house for the size of this booth. So I did buy another 2x4 table to put up. So hopefully I'll have enough room for that. And I did switch out some of my inventory. So instead of selling some of the play food, I have made a bunch of ducks. And so I will be selling these. I'll see how these go. I have like a whole bag full of them right here. I've made some shorts with them. And another thing I have updated to my inventory is this cherry cow right here. So he will be at my market. I also have a snake that I'm going to finish tonight. It's going to have cherries on it. So yeah, I'm really excited. I will get back to you tomorrow. And I will meet you at the market. Hello, everybody. I just woke up. It's market day. It's raining. I did not know it was going to rain today. Not very nice weather out there. Hey guys, it is Monday, the Monday after my market that I just had, and it was at Next Step Dance Studio. And it was pretty amazing. They actually were really clever how they did it. It was over 170 students come in for picture day, and they had it set up to where every family had to go through all of the vendors to get to their photo booth that was there, the photo shoot thing that was in the very back. And then they had performances like every half an hour. So pretty much every half an hour, you had new families coming through the door. And, you had families that were like, so proud of how their kids done. So they wanted to get them something afterwards. And it really did work out. It was really brilliant. They do this show twice a year, and they do it to get the kids used to dancing in front of people for the really big performances that they have. So I'm definitely going to look into the one that they have towards Christmas, because if it's anything like this one, it's definitely going to be great. People were stopping to watch the performances. I mean, I did too. I have some awesome recordings I'm sure I'll share with you guys. But I only had to ask people to step aside one time because they were blocking one of the shelves that I had, that someone kind of wanted to look at the turtles. So I had no problem asking them to move. I'm pretty assertive, so I have no problem doing that. And I did it nicely, obviously. One thing I do want to make a note of is that, okay, so I brought that spinning wheel, and that was the best decision I ever made. It is a big attraction. Adults love spinning it. Kids love spinning it even more. I had put the same thing for each color. So like if I did 25% off on one yellow, I did the same one thing on the other side. And my daughter actually was pretty smart because I didn't really have any quarters. So the things that were $10, I was, 25% discount, but I was just giving them at 7. And my daughter's like, just put 30% down. And so that's what I did. And they know that they're getting a bigger discount, and I have no problem doing that. So, but one thing I did regret very quickly was I had one free keychain 2 times on the spinning wheel. I probably gave away $40 worth of keychains before I erased one of those and just added 2 free stickers. So I had 3 sections that said 2 free stickers. So what I had was 30% off, buy one, get one 50% off, 2 free stickers, and 1 free keychain. But that was, and you could just spin for free. It was a big hit, and definitely recommend that. One thing I did not do for my inventory list though, and it ended up being completely messy, and it was just ridiculous. Because I did not, like I said, I didn't have time to prepare for this market. So I didn't really have a lot of time to prepare this inventory list. I kind of updated it with the new items I had, but as far as the wheel goes, I'm now going to put a section in for 30% off, 50% off, and free, so that I know, because this was entirely too hard to keep track of. But I think I got it all mapped out. So let's get into it. Okay, so as far as keychains go, I gave away 13 for free at $5 each. Yes, that happened. Yes. I sold 10 at full price. And there were a couple times like a couple kids came up to me and only had $2 and $3 and was like, do you have anything for this? And I was like, you know what, go ahead and pick out a keychain. So made $5 off of 2. The most popular ones were my chickens. I started out with 12 and I ended with 2. So I definitely got to make up some chickens, sold out of the bees. I only had one eye, like an eyeball that I did. That sold. The ice cream sold, the Oreo, the mushroom, the pom-pom I made. Those were all one-offs. I only had one of each of those, and all my whales sold. So those were really popular. Okay, so as far as card charms go, I sold 5, and those are at $10 each, and I sold 2 at full price, 1 at 30% and 2 half off. And I sold finally the sunflower on a swing, so that was cute. A succulent, a couple bellflowers, and some tulips. But it was really funny because a couple kids, one bought a succulent and one bought some tulips, and they just wore them as necklaces and walked right out. So whatever. That was cute. Okay, and catnip toys. I almost sold out of my catnip toys. I only had 2 left. So I had about 4 fish. All of them are gone. People love the donuts. I had a mouse, an Oreo, a pencil, a Pokeball, and a Pop-Tart. And like one of each of them sold. So that was awesome. I only sold 1 chicken. Again, chickens are not as popular as everyone made them out to be. At least not mine. I sold 1 desk plant full price. So that was awesome. And I sold 2 octopus finally. So that was awesome. One of them, let's see which one. I sold the one with the ice cream cone and just a blue one. So that was really cool. I was happy to finally make a sale on those. So I sold one of my duckies and it was the yellow one. So whatever, if people like yellow ducks, I love all ducks. Rainbow ducks, colorful ducks, fun ducks, but I sold a yellow duck. I sold 3 turtles. $25 each. I was so happy about that. Actually, one of them was 50% off, and I did it for 12. So, because I don't do 50 cents. So I sold both of my cupcake turtles. So I have no more cupcake turtles, and I sold my watermelon turtle. So that was awesome. I did sell my snake. I sold one of the first snakes I made. It's the green one with the roses on it. I call her Rosie. So that was also awesome. That was $25. And the loaf cats were absolutely the most popular thing. So I actually ended up selling, let's see how many. So I sold 21 loaf cats at $10 each. And they all come with their own little adoption certificate. Actually, so I sold 3 of them at 30% and 1 of them at 50%. So I did not sell any market bags, donuts, or my cows yet, but I will get there. At least people were absolutely loving my big donuts and my market bags. Finally, people were checking them out. So that was awesome. So guys, ready to hear the total? So drum roll, please. $466 for the entire day. It was from 10 to 5. And my booth fee, I paid for 2 booths. I paid $76. So for a total profit of $390. And that is awesome for me. I was actually very happy about that. That is more than $100 than I made at my last market. So that was absolutely amazing. Like I said, if the Christmas one that these people do is anything like this, I'm there. And obviously, I think I've pretty much figured out kid events is where it's at for me. So I need to go to more kid events. The loaf cats, it didn't matter if they were colorful or regular colored cats. The kids obviously loved all the colorful ones. It was awesome, and I definitely want to do it again. It was a great experience. My booth it actually took a minute for me to figure out how I was going to do my booth, and I did use my 2x4 table. So it went the 2x4 table, one of my 6-foot tables, my checkout stand, another 6-foot table, and then my shelf with all of my turtles and everything on there. So it was honestly the biggest booth I've ever had. I am sure I will show a few videos and everything. But yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and I hope you guys got some good insight out of it. Definitely the loaf cats are the most popular. Catnip toys are right up there. Everyone loves the catnip toys, and I make some pretty funny ones. Like I said, I make ones that I think it would be funny watching a cat run around the house with, like a pencil or a donut or, a ice cream cone or something like that. So that was awesome. I definitely have a lot of work to do. My next show is in July. So, my dog. Yeah, I gotta get to work. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.